Hello, so today we are going to talk through your breathing and the breaths you're going to use for the up stage of labour, otherwise known as the active stage, the first stage of labour, and the down stage of labour, otherwise known as the second stage of labour. But let's say what we mean. So the breath you're going to use for the up stage of labour. Now the up stage of labour is when all these wonderful longitudinal muscles are actually now pulling up so that we can create the space at the base of the uterus, i.e. dilation, for baby's head to come down the birth canal and past your perineum. Okay, so the majority of the work you're going to be doing will be in the up stage. That is where you will spend most of your labour. And then once you've made the space, we go into the down stage of labour. Now I know it can seem a little bit tricky because lots of people teach it with a count. So they'll ask you to breathe in on a count and then breathe out on an extended count. But at Better Birth Stories, we don't do it this way because from my experience, if we use 7-11 or 4-8 counting, breathing in is comfortable enough, 4 counts in, and then they start breathing out. And I can see clients, by the time they hit 5, 6, 8, a certain panic starts to come in, however much you practice. So what we're going to do is you're going to breathe in through your nose, through your birth breathing, and then you breathe out through your mouth with a very soft jaw, a little bit like you're breathing out through a straw. So you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth, and although that's the breath, I want you to see, sense, or imagine that every time you breathe in from your fingertips, and the breath goes up your arm all the way to the top of your head. And then when you breathe out, the breath comes down the very core of your body, all the way down past your chest, round your baby, all the way past your hips, your knees, your ankles, and out through the soles of your feet. Because quite clearly, this is a shorter ratio to this. So you will get the benefits of that extended out breath, but without having to sort of count numbers and start panicking about it. So we'll just do a couple of breaths together now, okay? So really, I know you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, a little bit like a straw, but I want you to see, sense, or imagine that that breath comes in through the fingertips and then all the way down. So together now. All the way down and out through the soles of your feet again. See how much more comfortable that is. So this is the up stage, okay? So I want you to really start to visualize this sense of lifting, because that is exactly what your body is doing. Lifting up, and then softening these muscles so that they can open. It's a release and a lift, okay? So what can you be thinking? Because obviously when you're doing this breath, when you're really in that up stage of labour, it's helpful to close your eyes. It really is. So you're going to close your eyes and then we can activate this wonderful imagination that you have. So what do you want to be thinking about? Well, if you're thinking about things going up, you could be thinking about holding a balloon. A vast sort of helium balloon here, and as you breathe this wonderful breath, you can just imagine letting it go and watching it lift up. You can imagine blowing bubbles from a bubble wand and then seeing them lifting up. While you are doing this, you can say something again and again and again, like an affirmation. So when you're doing this wonderful upstage breath, you can be thinking lifting and opening. Lifting and opening. And this breath can be so up to the top of your head that you can almost imagine as the air comes in, you lift up a little bit. And then as you follow the breath all the way down the core of your body, past your baby and out through the soles of your feet, you can just gently sink back down again. All of these breaths, these thinking, just engages your mind. It just works mind and body together. It's a very simple breath. You do need to practice it, but it's a breath for life because you can use it again and again and again. Before meetings, before public speaking, if the baby's crying and you don't know why and you're tired, a relaxing breath can be used for life. So, we've created the space. You have that wonderful dilation, and it's time for the downstage of labour. The downstage, otherwise known as the second stage, okay? Downstage, birthing your baby, is the language you'll hear me using. Now, there's going to be a big emphasis to this, by which I mean, whether you like it or not, your body will start to birth your baby, okay? So what we need to be doing is mentally getting out of the way, but also calming that breath. Now, you have been breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, but this time I want you to breathe in through the nose, keeping the lips just gently together, the tongue softly in the mouth, the jaw completely soft, and breathe out through the nose. So the breath will come in, and then out through the nose. Now, doing that, you can already feel a certain tension. We're not pushing our babies out, okay? I want you to think of that tension a little bit like the cafetiere or French press, yes? You know, you don't make your coffee in the pot and then when it comes to, you put a little bit of tension down, and I want the breath to feel a little bit like that, okay? Now, we still continue to breathe in through our fingertips and all the way up to the top of our head, but this time when the breath comes down, it doesn't go all the way to the feet, it goes all the way out past your vagina or your bottom. Think of that pelvic floor area. You're breathing down and out of that area, exactly where baby is going. So the breath comes in through your fingertips, up, and then remember we're breathing out through the nose. Yeah, with that very gentle tension coming down. And again, you're going to use your fantastic imagination. What are you going to think of? Well, if you've got your eyes closed, you can think of walking downstairs. Every time this powerful surge comes, and by now they are mighty powerful surges, you can just count 10 steps down, and you can walk anywhere, down to a deserted cove, down somewhere in a home that you loved as a child. You choose, but you walk down the stairs. This is the downstage. You could think about the sand going through an hourglass, yes? Just watching the sand, passing of time, while you carry on this beautiful breath. You could be thinking of snow, you know, maternity wards. If you're not birthing at home and you're in a maternity ward, they're really very warm. So perhaps imagining soft snow all around you, gently falling to the ground while you keep this beautiful breath going. And what affirmation can you be saying to yourself? Well, softening and opening, softening and opening. Because we really do want that pelvic floor soft, relaxed, opening, so that baby can descend and be born. Okay? Other things you might hear us talking about in hypnobirthing. We talk about birthing the baby, and we talk about birthing your placenta. And we'll have a separate video about birthing your placenta. But say what you mean. Third stage means nothing, okay? Birthing your baby, birthing your placenta. So these breaths have to be practiced, okay? Take time, make sure there's no confusion going on, there's no people interrupting you. You have the in breath lifting up, and you have the down breath. So the upstage breath and the down breath. Practice, practice, practice. I hope that's helped. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your pregnant friends, and ensure that you subscribe to these videos so that you know when I'm posting new ones up. Comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. How is your practice getting on? I would absolutely love to hear. See you soon.